Hello everyone, welcome back. This is your daily tarot and astrology reading. I'm doing the tarot first, of course, and I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite tarot. I wish they would have put Smith in there and kept Pixie, Pamela Coleman Smith in the artist. I wish they would have done that, but so anyway. This is the day that Mercury moves into Aries. So when we get to the astrology, I'll show you that. But let's see what do the cards have to show us. For Monday, March 3rd, what would be the most helpful to know? Right there, okay. Ooh, worky, worky. Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the morning. Our theme for the day is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And then we also have the Chariot. Okay, that's good. That's good, actually. The Ten of Pentacles reverse. Well, first of all, don't ever take any of this on if these cards don't work out for you, or don't let them like change your day. Just kind of let it be easy in your consciousness. Like, oh, maybe she'll be right, maybe she won't. And if I'm wrong, it's just going to be a lesson in what the card meanings are, and nothing more than that. So don't make it your day if you don't like the message. Okay, so but with our Ten of Pentacles in the reverse position, usually it has to do with sometimes just kind of some upsets to what was an easier type of a life. And there's maybe some financial problems, maybe a little bit of financial loss, maybe just feeling lonely, like you're missing your family. You know, traditionally, this card upright has to do with wealth and family wealth and inheritance and your ancestry and lineage. But when it's reversed, I always kind of wonder, like, well, maybe there's a separation. Maybe there's a kind of a little bit of a family feud going on with somebody. I think we could probably all relate to that. You're lucky, you're very fortunate, but definitely it's your extremely good fortune too if you don't have that. I'm blessed with siblings that I've just never had problems with at all. But, other family members, it's a whole different story. So, okay, anyway, the Eight of Pentacles is, you can see it's the Sun in Virgo. Virgo's all about being useful and working and skills and paying really good attention to details, really getting down into it. So first thing in the morning, there is something, or could be for someone out there, really getting into a good work ethic, and maybe you wake up in the morning, you're looking forward to getting something done, and it doesn't have anything to do with your family, it doesn't have anything to do with, any financial problems. It's more about you moving forward in your life the way that you want with the Chariot here. The Chariot is just such an amazing card with the starry canopy up top and the 8-pointed star crown and the moons, the half moons on the shoulder pads, and then we have all these like runic symbols down here on the skirt area, and the third eye in the wings, and I forget what this is. I think it's like the male and the female, being centered in your masculine and your feminine, which is, in the spirit world, there is no separation. But on planet Earth, we tend to, we do have two different, genders and more. So I like to look at it as just centering our life force, because to me, it's just life force, right? And how we use it is very important. So for growth, because this card is ruled by Cancer, for your human evolutionary growth, you're going to want to stay as centered as you can and stay out of duality. That's why we have the black and the white here. Keep those two forces together moving forward. And this is also, the Chariot is also a card for any vehicle that you might be, in or on. Could be a bike, could be a skateboard, could be a razor, could be a scooter, could be a car, could be a truck, could be traveling on a train, could be riding on a train, right? But maybe with these two together, maybe there's something about working towards being in a place of victory and having control over your life, taking care of all the little details to do that, because maybe you've had a terrible family situation. Maybe you've gone through financial, maybe your family had gone through financial ruin, and now you work really hard and you pay attention to the details because you really do want to be in control of your life, which is what the Chariot is about. So, okay, let's look at the astrology. So I have the chart set for really early so you can see when, well, it'll be early no matter what time. It's actually 1:04 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, March 3rd, that Mercury begins its ingress. It starts into Aries. So now we're not thinking as much with the big picture anymore, but maybe we're still carrying all of that consciousness, because Mercury's sojourn into Pisces would still be there for us, and we would have been thinking with the bigger picture, the big brush strokes of life, and now moving into Aries, we're going to focus in. And Mercury approaching Venus, and with the connection still going on to the South Node in Virgo, it is about being useful. That is that's our Sun in Virgo with the Eight of Pentacles. So there is that work ethic there, and the Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo. So there's still that South Node influence there that's really important. And we're thinking about forging new frontiers, new territory, blazing our own trail. And you might have to be careful, though, with conversations and words that are put out there. Remember, it's a planet of communication. It's our messenger. It's how we articulate ourselves. It's how we link patterns together. And then combined with Virgo, there's a lot of that. So there's a lot of talk and communication about the facts, and also which direction you want to go. But there could be arguments. You want to be careful, because this is confrontational type of energy. It's not soft like when it was in Pisces. Now it's going to be fight, because it's like putting Mercury together with the planet Mars. Mars is down here in Cancer and wants security and safety and growth and comfort and stability. So, and we still have Ceres there with that, sesquisquare, that is a detour type of aspect, or a disruption to the flow, right? But Mars in Cancer will fight to make things secure, make things safe. And Ceres up here in Pisces can be very sensitive and help us see the bigger picture, which is a good thing. And then back to with Mercury and Aries getting ready to move close. Well, Venus is retrograde, so Venus is going back to meet Mercury. And Mercury is, they're powwowing together, or they're connecting in a way. They're going to be talking a lot over this next few weeks, and that's just the way it is, and that's a good thing. And then Mercury's going to hook up with Chiron, and we'll talk about that later. But you can see where it's all headed, and now you can see that we have 5 planets in Aries, And within a couple of hours, the moon will be in Taurus. So I'll forward this in a little bit, but I just wanted you to see how it's going to start out. Like no matter what time you wake up in the morning, whatever time zone you're in, Mercury will have moved into Aries, and you're going to be thinking more quickly. You're going to be thinking in terms of what you want. You're going to be initiating things in new ways. You're going to want to be first, maybe. You're not going to want to be left out. It might bring up abandonment issues as time goes by, but the deal with that, because Chiron and Aries can bring that up, the deal with that is really just about don't abandon yourself. Don't ever abandon yourself. Because if we abandon ourselves all the time, we will eventually be abandoned by others because we're not holding that energetic place inside of us where we know who we are. And we'll have people push our buttons just to try to get us to come out and show them who you are. Right? And spiritual people tend to need those lessons. I've worked with a lot of people that have had those problems, and they tend to bump up against more narcissistic people, even though if it's just mildly narcissistic, but it's because they're trying to, the narcissist or the person who, has more courage, because narcissism can be just the challenging part of having a whole lot of courage, and that's a lot of power to manage, right? It's power. It's all about power and control. And if they don't know who they're with, like if they're trying to figure out this person and the person's not showing up and they're just being kind of floundering around, which can be very Piscean. Piscean, is that the way to say it? Be very much like Pisces energy. They don't like that, So if you get into who you truly are and you put that out there and you have your boundaries and you stand up for yourself, that's what they like to see. And then they'll usually back off because it's like, oh, okay, now I know who I'm dealing with. I just wanted to know, that kind of a thing. So it's just a power management issue primarily. So okay, let's go forward. All right, now it's only 3 a.m. and the moon's in Taurus. Let's go ahead and go to about 4. That'll give us 7 a.m. in the Eastern time zone, 8 a.m. Atlantic. So, yeah, and you can see with the moon, as soon as it hits Pisces, we've got the square too, because Taurus squares Aquarius. So, Aquarius squares Scorpio as well. But anyway, we do have, we've been having, and we still will for quite some time, the trine coming from the South Node to Pluto, which is a good thing because it helps us get to the facts as to people trying to either take a person's power, because Pluto's all about power. It's who has the power and what are you doing with it. Well, we've got the tech bros up here, and they're trying to get into the treasury. Maybe they already have. We're still not sure what they're doing with that data. There's, politically, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And here we are trying to shore up our defenses and keep ourselves safe and secure and keep our families and our loved ones as safe and secure as we possibly can and take care of our fur babies and all of that. And then, meanwhile, there's going to be a little more courageous talking because of that sextile coming from, we've got the opportunity, but it takes work to say what you mean and mean what you say. And that will be your power, and that will be your freedom. That will be your intuition. That will be your original self coming through. And you're coming from a position of facts and things being useful. And there's that opportunity there, as well as, again, safety and security and stability over here with Uranus and Taurus. But back to the moon square Pluto, the moon in Taurus, oh man, you don't mess with somebody who's deeply ingrained in their authority, in the person who owns themselves. This is like, if you know somebody that has a strong sense of, somebody with a healthy Taurus, and there's somebody, I have a dear friend, I used to do a lot of traveling with her to our spiritual schools, and to learn. We did energy healing schools, and meditation and all that. But she's a Taurus, but a healthy Taurus, a really good Taurus, and she'd be driving, and she never went too fast. She would always go the speed limit. And if somebody would get on her tail end, she would just slow down. Not like anything, fast, like, or you're going to get rear-ended, but she'd slow down and just make them go around. It's like, no, you move. I used to watch her and crack up. But so anyway, this is that energy, that Moon square Pluto, who's got the power. And then over here, well, who's really holding that power? Because this is sometimes more than a mood. And for the next 2.5 days, that's what we're going to, 2 to 2.5 days, that's how it's going to go. We're going to be rolling in that energy of wanting security, wanting faithfulness, holding strong to our principles. We don't like getting stuck. We don't like being pushed or rushed. And it's all about self-preservation. That's it for the next couple of days. So yeah, and then we still have the aspect of the architect here. There are 2 of them hitting up the south node. So everything points to the south node of the past. And again, gathering facts, getting the information and synthesizing it, or making it so useful that you can really do something with it. But it's also learning too. We're learning things that help bring in new opportunities. So again, it's all back to keep ourselves protected from the tech bro monarchy type of, monopoly is a better word, not monarchy. Well, then again, they think they're king. Elon thinks he's a king. Trump already made himself that photo with the king with a crown. God. Oh, so yeah. The sun is just about exactly, well, actually it was exact in the middle of the night, but it's still, for all intents and purposes, still. Here, if I do this, you can see it better. See how the sun's at 13 degrees of Pisces? And we have the square to 12 degrees of Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini at 12 degrees. So we have the sun squaring Jupiter. So the sun always shines a light and reveals something. In Pisces, it can be about victimhood and energy that's all over the place but won't take self-responsibility. Can be people being very gullible, and then it squares to Jupiter that's pumping out information, and it's out there. The information's out there. It's always been out there. We can always get the information we need. The truth has always been out there. It's never been hiding. It's just that you have to look for it. You have to want to know, and then it will come. You'll find it. It might take some time. Depends on what the topic is, or is it you on your soul path? Is it you on your spiritual journey? Like what is it? If it has to do with the government, the facts are already out there. They're here. We already knew that Trump was aligned with Putin. It's just that he finally said the quiet part out loud in a bullying rant with Zelensky. So there will be consequences for that. But now there's that tension field of people getting that information, and it's still out there. And I think more and more people are going to walk away from him. So, we can only hope. Let's just pray for peace. Hold that peaceful place inside of us, especially with Mercury in Aries. Now, Mercury and Venus together in Aries, this is going to be a good time for women's protests, women's marches and protests. That's going to be very energizing. And also Mercury ruling transactions, more and more ways to nurture our local, shopping experiences instead of going on to Amazon and buying online, Give the money to our local people, especially local, like restaurants and things like that, or whatever, whenever you can. Some people can't, but however, in whatever way you can. But most of all, to stay in that peaceful place. Not so headstrong. We got to be careful with that. So, okay, well, that's it for today. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.